Good morning. Today we're going to talk about struck by accidents. This is one of OSHA's Focus 4. We've talked about the other three in the last several weeks. Today we're going to talk about these accidents, which we would class as struck by accidents. So I'm going to today read you 5 different scenarios where employees were badly injured or perhaps killed, depending on the circumstance, when they were struck by one thing or another on a job site. On June the 9th, 2008, an employee was decapitated and killed when he was struck in the head by a rope sling that broke while he was trying to tow a bulldozer out of a river. On March the 24th, 2009, an employee was part of a labor crew working at a metal fabrication yard. They were preparing a new section of oil field metering piping for hydrostatic testing. This employee was standing near a small side bypass line, and it was leaking water. The crew was attempting to stop the leak with the system at a pressure in excess of 2100 psi. A threaded joint of the smaller line blew out at its outlet and struck this employee near his pelvis. He suffered severe wounds, broken bones, and internal bleeding, and later died. At about 4:30 p.m. on March the 4th, 1992, an injury occurred in the shipping department of a manufacturing company. There was an employee who was a production worker. He was temporarily assigned to the shipping department to load trucks. He picked up a pneumatic-powered staple gun, which was being used by other workers to fasten wooden shipping crates, and he playfully pointed it at his co-workers. After being cautioned not to play around, he pulled the trigger to show it would not operate because of a point-of-operation safety device. He then placed the staple gun to his head, and it discharged, driving an 1 3/4 long steel staple into his head near his ear. Just sheer horseplay. Another employee, who was 17, was working in a trench when he was struck in the head by an excavator bucket and decapitated. On August the 26th, 2005, there was an employee returning from a break. He was riding on the tailgate of a pickup truck going 25 to 35 miles an hour. He was facing the rear of the vehicle when he slid off the tailgate, struck his feet on the asphalt road, lost his balance, and fell backward, striking his head on the pavement. He suffered severe head trauma and was flown to a shock trauma center. At the time of when this report was originally written, he was in critical but stable condition. All of these incidences that we're discussing are incidences which involve some sort of struck by injury. Now, these are just examples. There's a whole host of other circumstances, especially for those of us who are ironworkers, where we can find ourselves in a circumstance and be struck by something, whether it is a beam being brought in by the crane or it is swinging material like edge angle or anything else. We can be struck by equipment as we walk around the construction site. There are a number of different places where we find ourselves encountering situations which can be potential hazards or potential situations where we could be involved in a struck by accident. So once again, situational awareness is very important. I want you to consider this very carefully. This is something that can easily happen to us. These incidences occurred to these people, not exactly in our line of work, but we can encounter struck by situations very, very often throughout the day. So therefore, today, let us be consistently situationally aware about the potential for struck by accidents. Thanks for your time. I'll catch up with you again, and we'll talk about another safety topic when we have a chance.